Let's get to the game. So Tuesday night, big game. OKC versus Wednesday, excuse me. OKC versus Boston. No Jalen Williams, no Kristaps Porzingis. And yet,
they still won.
They still won convincingly, and they were fantastic. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a fantastic game.
34 points.
Yeah, man.
Over 50%.
Yeah, just looking at the stats. 118 to 112. Chet Holmgren, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 3 for 6 from 3, 8 for 14 from the field. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you mentioned, 34 points, 11 for 20 from the field, 10 for 11 at the free throw line. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're a free throw merchant. We don't care. We don't care. Just watch the games, watch the film, and you'll see he's talented. 7 assists, 5 rebounds. And then we have Lou Dort, 13 points. He chipped in. Casey Wallace, 14 points. The bench also pitched in was Isaiah Joe, Hartenstein, 11 points. Williams with 10 points. They had guys contribute from the bench in the starting lineup. Even without Jalen Williams, they were able to win. On Boston, Jaylen Brown didn't show up this game. He was nowhere to be found. Only 10 points. Derek White had 22. Al Horford had 18. Jason Tatum had 33. But Drew Holiday only had 9 points. But Jaylen Brown, let me tell you something, because people forget. The Celtics and the Thunder actually played earlier in the season.
Yes, they
January as well, and the Thunder won.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder won 105-92. This was not a back-to-back for Boston. They had a day where they can rest in between, and they were fully healthy. And when they went to OKC, they got their ass whooped by the Thunder. And let me tell you something. I'm looking at the stats right now. Jaylen Brown, he had a better game. 8 for 19 from the field, but only 21 points. Jason Tatum, 26 points, 7 for 17 from the field. Kristaps had 19. Derek White had 11, but it wasn't enough against OKC. OKC was able to hold Boston to only 92 points that game. And OKC had 105 points. And just looking at the stats, Shai, 33 points. Everybody else was pretty much relatively mediocre. Jalen Williams only had 10, but that defense was fantastic. And this is both teams when they're healthy. So all these people that are skeptical of the Thunder, that don't believe the Thunder are good enough to beat the Celtics or any other team, they just made a statement.
I saw a quote about that. Like, I forgot who said it, but they said no one would be scared of the Thunder in the playoffs.
It was Brian Windhorst.
My God, is there an incredible amount of disrespect for this team? And Mad Dog, it's not just you. I hear it every day. I hear it implicitly from other people I talk to in the league. I hear it implicitly from players out there who are like, yeah, we'll be all fine on the same side of the bracket as Oklahoma City.
Yeah, like he said, no one would be scared.
He said that players from different teams, I think in the Western Conference, have said if we get the Thunder, that we're not going to be afraid.
They're stupid.
I know.
And I think it's basically because of pedigree. They don't have the pedigree or whatever. But, like, they're clearly the most talented team in the West. You should be afraid to go up against them. They got these young dudes. They will run you out the gym.
And you know what's dangerous about them? They have so many guys that can defend on the perimeter. When you look at...
I do think they should get another creator. They need someone that can create their own shots.
Look at how they're defending Boston. They have Casey Wallace. They have Lou Dort. You could put... when Jalen Williams comes back, you could put him on him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have so many. And then Chet, he can move too.
Yeah.
He can move on the perimeter. So you have like 5-6 dudes. And then you got Alex Caruso. Bro, they have so many dudes that can guard the perimeter. It's not fair. I can't think of another team in NBA history that has so many dudes that can guard the wing and can guard the guard position. And that can switch. I can't think of another team like that in NBA history that has those many players that you can say, hey, I need you to guard the wing. I need you to guard the perimeter. I need you to switch. And they're fine. It's insane. They got like 5-6 dudes.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Boston don't want to face OKC.
They really don't.
They don't.
No, I don't think any team wants to honestly.
They don't want to.
I don't care what Brian Windhorst said. No one. This is clearly like the best team roster wise in the NBA. In my opinion, they're clearly the best.
When I was looking,
I know the people, but we're missing Kristaps. Well, yeah, they didn't have Jalen. That's literally their number 2 option. Kristaps is what, 3?
He is. I will say, Kristaps. He is very important.
He is
with spacing wise and also protecting the paint. But Jalen Williams is their number 2 player.
Exactly.
And they still walked him out of town in OKC. They won by double digits, and they held them to under 100 points when Kristaps was there. They had everybody available. Nobody was hurt that game for the Boston Celtics.
The Celtics shot horrible from 3. 61 threes. And 63 threes, you made 20 of them.
And against the Thunder in January, they only made 9 of 46.
Mm.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I just think
they're
just great defensively.
Yeah.
Man.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. Jaylen Brown, you got to show up in these kind of games. Mr. Finals MVP. People doing all this trash talking with Tatum. Tatum showed up in them 2 games. 33 points, 26 in the other one. Good efficiency.
This is going to be a challenge for Boston.
Yeah. OKC is such a tough team to guard, man, because Shea just he like, who can guard Shea 1-on-1?
Nobody.
Like, pause on this, but the penetration he gets alone is enough to just collapse defenses.
And he's so hard to defend because he's
not small. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
6'6". Tall dude.
He'll work you in the post. Like he will just get a bucket. People say, "Oh, he's foul baiting." So he's playing his leverage to me.
I will say there was some clips.
Some stuff I was like, okay, he did just jump into Westbrook like that. I ain't gonna lie.
No, that was terrible.
But a lot of times, don't foul him.
Yeah, don't foul him. You know, I remember when I was playing when I used to play 2K and I was creating my player. I kid you not, before Shea was even Shea, like that's how my guy was like. He would really play like Shea. And I remember, I think he was still on the Clippers, and I would play the Clippers and I would play against Shea. And I'm like, he played just like me. What the hell? Like, he's posting up guys, turn around, fade away, hitting mid-range shots. I'm like, what? What is this? Like,
playing with pace, like yeah.
Yeah. So it's just funny how it translates into real life, and he's just playing that game, and he's been great. He's averaging over 30. He's in the running for MVP easily in the front line of MVP, and the dude is just great, man. I love his game. If you don't like his game, then you don't like basketball, because he does everything right. Yeah, you could say, oh, he foul based this, foul based
and these
that.
would be the same people that say there's too many threes being taken. You literally got your poster child.
I will say 61 threes is kind of crazy. For Boston,
yeah.
61 threes is kind of crazy. Like,
No, I'm just saying the same people that will be like, we're tired of all these 3-pointers will get like, oh, Shea, he just ref baits, he's a foul baiter and all, he's just free throw merchant. Like, what do y'all want exactly? Like, y'all clearly don't like basketball.
OKC is one of the best watches in the NBA.
Yes.
They play the game right. They don't solely rely on a 3-pointer. They actually utilize the mid-range a lot. If you like basketball, you should watch OKC.
And they play defense.
Oh my God, they play defense. Yes, they do. Man, they're just
young team, play defense. They got a young star. Like what's the problem here? What's not being connected with the audience? Like, I don't understand. This should be a team everyone should be rallying around and trying to be rooting for on the low. Even if that's not your primary team. But now it's just like definitely something shifted in the fandom since the early 2010s and before.
I will say that the key for this team is always going to be Jalen Williams. If he shows up, if he can be that number 2 to Shea's number 1, then they're unstoppable. But if he shrinks, if he doesn't show up, if he doesn't become that 1B to 1A to Shea, then a lot of teams, I wouldn't say a lot, but like some teams, they can take advantage of it, especially if it's a very ugly, defensive-minded game. Teams can really take advantage, especially if you have 2 stars. So that's the danger of OKC.
And let's not, the Nuggets did beat them the other night, put up 140 points on them.
They did. although it was a back-to-back, but, at the end of the day, you have a point. The Thunder, at this point, Jalen Williams, he has to show up. If he shows up, then I don't think any team can beat them, really. That's the difference.
I just hope they go into the playoffs and ready to kill.
I think let me ask you, the best of OKC versus the best of Boston, who do you think wins?
Best versus best?
Yeah, best versus best.
I think I still say Celtics.
Yeah, probably too.
Yeah.
I would say that because of the 3-pointers.
Because the best of best, I believe their top 2 players can go off for 30 a night. Best of best, 30 a night.
Yeah, because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I love Jalen Williams, but he's not.
He's not.
The only guy that can match Jason Tatum is Shea.
Yeah.
And I will argue that maybe Shea is at this point a little bit better than Jason Tatum, just a little bit, but they kind of offset each other. While with Jaylen Brown and Jalen Williams, it's not even close.
Yeah.
So
I think the best of Drew is better than who's the Caruso, I guess?
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort. Yeah.
Lou Dort.
Over Drew?
No, I'm just saying in terms of comparisons.
Okay. Like the way that the role they play. Okay.
Drew is definitely better.
Yeah. And I like Chet. I think the best of Chet would be better than Porzingis when he gets there. I don't think he's there yet.
Okay. Well, again, I just wanted to ask you on that.
No, that's good. No, that's a good question though.
But anywho,
just let me be.